Hi, second graders. This is Miss Lloyd. I wanted to make another video with you again this week. I wanted to read another fable with you. It's called The Foolish Milkmaid. I know earlier in the week I read a story called The Lion and the Man, but this is a brand new story, and it is a fable by the same person, Aesop. And in this story, it is about a girl who is so focused on daydreaming and thinking about her dreams that she actually kind of ignores what's really important and kind of gets her into some trouble. So, again, a really quick reminder about fables. So, fables are short fiction stories. So, they're fake stories that have a lesson or a moral in them. And what I mean by lesson, it's just a life lesson that the character learns in the story, as well as a life lesson that you can apply in your own life. So, for example, I know there's a fable called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Many of you are probably familiar with this one. And in this story, it's about a boy who thinks it's funny to joke around when he's like looking after sheep to say that there's a wolf. And he jokes around several times and saying, "There's a wolf, there's a wolf, there's a wolf." And the villagers come running and they try and defend the sheep, but there is no wolf. And he's like laughing about it. So, with that, the third time he cries out, "There's a wolf, there's a wolf, there's a wolf," it's actually a wolf, and the villagers and no one comes to help him. So he learns his lesson in that story that it's important that you should always tell the truth. And the reason is because if you lie, then people lie very often, then people stop believing you. So that's just the moral of that story and a life lesson that that boy learned in there. There's also other life lessons like treat others the way you want to be treated or um, be thankful for what you have. So fables are all about teaching you a lesson or a moral, something that you can apply in your own life. I know I said that this is about a girl who's dreaming about the future and she's really not paying attention to what's actually happening at that very moment. So you'll see what happens with her. So I want you to think about a time that you might have been kind of focused so much on one thing that and you kind of ignored another. So I'm going to give you like a couple of seconds to think and make your own personal connection to the story. You can either tell a parent, you can tell a sibling, or just even just say it out loud to yourself. Okay, so I know for me, when I thought about that, I was thinking about a time that I was so focused on reading a book, and my nose was kind of like right in a book. And what I was doing while I was reading the book was I was walking down the street. Not a good choice because I was so focused on the book I was reading, I wasn't paying attention to me walking, and I walked right into someone. So it not only hurt me, but it also hurt someone else. So that was just an example and a connection that I had of a time that I was so focused on one thing that I kind of ignored another thing that I should have been paying attention to. So just like with any new story that we read, we always like to talk about the vocabulary, new vocabulary words. So I'm going to minimize myself here so you guys can see the full screen. And there's three new vocabulary words that I want to talk to you today about. The first one is milkmaid. So I have a picture here. A milkmaid is a girl who milks cows and does other chores like around on a dairy farm. And this fable is actually about a milkmaid. So, and her name is Molly. So one of her jobs is to sell milk at the market. So I have a picture here of a little girl milking a cow. Maybe she's not a milkmaid, but that's one of her jobs or maybe chores that she does at the dairy farm. So that's what a milkmaid is. Another vocabulary word that I want to talk about is balanced. So in the story, balance just means to be steady or equal. So in the story, Molly has to keep a milk pail, so a bucket full of milk, balanced on her head. And when I think about balancing something, I thought about being a kid when I was younger. I used to try and balance books on my head. So I got a picture of a little boy trying to balance as many books on his head without them dropping. So he had to make sure that they were very steady and equal. And then the last word that I want to talk about is jealous. So, jealous just describes a feeling that people have when they want something another person has. So, in the fable, Molly wants other girls to be jealous of her when she wears pretty dresses. She wants the other girls to feel like, "Ooh, I want her dress. That's so pretty." So I have an example of one girl being very jealous of another little girl because this little girl right over here has a lollipop. So she's kind of looking at her in a very jealous way, like, I want that lollipop. So that's those three words that I really want you to focus on. See if you can listen in for those vocabulary words while we're reading. So, milkmaid, balanced, and jealous. So I'm going to bring back up this story and I'm going to read The Foolish Milkmaid. Molly the milkmaid was going to sell her fresh, sweet milk at the market. As she walked, she balanced the milk pail on her head. She was dreaming about the money she would make. First, I'll buy some chickens, she thought. They will lay the finest eggs. When those eggs hatch, I'll have more chickens. In time, I will have dozens. I'll sell my chickens and eggs and make lots of money. With all that money, I'll buy the prettiest dress and some ribbons for my hair. Now I'm on the second page. Everyone will be jealous of my beautiful clothes as I walk through the town, thought Molly. But I won't care. I'll simply toss my head at them like this. Molly tossed her head proudly. When she did, the milk pail flew off and splashed in the road. Molly returned home with no milk and no money. She had to explain to her mother what had happened. Ah, foolish Molly, said her mother. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched. And the moral or the lesson of the story is never count on things turning out as you planned. So, before you think about anything that's going to happen in the future, it's important to focus on the job that you're doing at that very moment. So, she was so consumed with her daydreaming and thinking about what's going to happen next that she really wasn't paying attention to what she was doing right then and there. So I do have one question for you guys today, and that is Molly in the story loses her milk and her chance to make money by tossing her head. So what might she do differently the next time she has to take milk to the market? So I want you to take a moment and think about that. What do you think she possibly learned and from her experience, and what will she do differently next time? So I'll give you a little bit of time to think about it. Once you know, you can share your answer with a friend, or not a friend, sibling, or your parent, or even to me, even though I can't see you. All right. So if you said that you think the next time that Molly goes to sell milk at the market, that she's probably going to be extra careful this time, I would agree. I think that she's going to be really focused on what she's doing at that moment, and she's not going to be really daydreaming about the future. She's just going to be focusing on the job at hand and really making sure she's doing a good job with that. All right. So thank you, boys and girls, for reading with me today. I miss you all. I know that in the future we're going to be posting more and more videos like you've been seeing this week. Some other teachers might be doing those videos as well. So keep an eye out for other second grade teachers doing it. But other than that, thank you for reading with me today, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.